Do you have awareness on your inner critique? We all have an inner voice or our inner critique. Are you aware? Do you check in with yourself and check that inner dialogue? Hi everyone, this is me, Jyotika Bedi, founder of Happiness is Love. We make relationships better. The critical inner voice is a concept which is used in popular psychology to refer to an inner part of ourselves that judges and demeans the self. The inner critic often produces feelings of shame, deficiency, low self-esteem, and sometimes worthlessness. It may also cause self-doubt and undermine your self-confidence. And it's very common for people to have an inner critic which is so harsh that it almost is hurtful. It hurts yourself, it hurts your relationship with others, and it is unhelpful. If you're like most people, your inner critic sizes up the present, anticipates the future, and maybe sometimes examines the past. It evaluates other people and the surroundings and the circumstances, but it especially likes focusing inward, making oneself the prime focus. And when it does, what does it tell you most often? Maybe it is celebratory at times, often a well-deserved pat on your back. Or it could be something encouraging or soothing or forgiving, understanding or inspiring. But it is most likely going to be fault-finding, disapproving, hurtful, sometimes even malicious. Another great concern over the inner critic is that it often poses its criticism as the absolute truth. And this is true of you, it's true of me. So what does the inner critic really look like? There are 7 types of inner critics, and I'm sure you can relate to them because I can too. Number 1 is the perfectionist. This critic tries to get you to do things perfectly by setting high standards for the things that you produce and has difficulty saying something is good enough. And that's why our inner dialogue pierces inside and keeps saying, I am not good enough. And we all sometimes suffer from the not enough syndrome. I'm not good enough, I'm not fit enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not happy enough, I'm not healthy enough, I'm not wealthy enough, etc., etc. This is something we all are familiar with. I had this too, and I had to challenge that negative self-talk, that inner critic that was holding me back from being my bestest, grandest selves. Next, the inner controller. This critic tries to control your impulses, eating, drinking, even your sexual activities. It is polarized with an indulger addict who it fears can get out of control at any moment. Next is the taskmaster. This critic wants you to work hard and be successful. It fears that you may be mediocre or lazy and will be judged as a failure if you don't push yourself and keep going on. It's a good thing. However, the problem is it becomes excessive. It becomes all-encompassing where you become too hard on yourself. The underminer. This critic tries to undermine your self-confidence and self-esteem so that you don't take risks. We all are familiar with this. The destroyer. It makes pervasive attacks on your fundamental self-worth. It shames you and makes you feel inherently flawed and not entitled to basic understanding or even respect. This most debilitating critic comes from early life deprivation or even sometimes from trauma. It is motivated by this belief that it is safer not to exist, the destroyer. The guilt tripper. We all are familiar with the guilt tripper. This critic is stuck in the past. It is unable to forgive you for wrongs you have done or people you have hurt. It tries to protect you from repeating past hurts by making sure you never ever forget or feel free. And that's why you carry this burden on yourself, and you are the slave to your past hurts or your past mistakes. And that's why I make this video, so that you can challenge this inner critic which is not serving you or your relationships. It is not helpful at all. And I'm here for you. We at Happinesses love care, and we are here to help you in your journey of self-growth and evolution. Last is the conformist. This critic tries to get you to fit into a certain mold based on standards held by society, your culture, or your family. It wants you to be liked and admired and to protect you from being abandoned, shamed, or rejected. So now the next question is, what is the role of the inner critic? As we have seen, it seems that the main purpose of the inner critic is to protect you from external judgments and reactions. By constantly pointing out to you that you are not good enough, it hopes to create enough discomfort and fear of being rejected to either motivate you to do more or do better, or to avoid doing anything and therefore escaping failure. Your inner critic is more likely like a guardian that stands over to protect you, protecting you from pain. Now, of course, pain can come in many forms, including getting hurt, failing miserably at something, making a terrible mistake, experiencing disappointments, etc. All of these things lead to some kind of pain, and your inner critic's purpose is to safeguard you. In fact, the main objective in life is to keep you feeling comfortable for as long as it's possible. But anything in extreme, as we know, is bad and unhelpful and needs moderation. So I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. We are here to tell you, you can tame your inner critic, and it starts with self-awareness, starts with self-acceptance, and then we move on to alteration so that you know you have to change, challenge, check that inner critic and make it more positive. So here I am to share some steps to help you deal with your inner critic if you are struggling. Number one, become more aware of your inner dialogue. Pay attention and identify the things your inner critic tells you in various situations. For this, we need to be mindful of our thoughts and our feelings. For example, what is my inner critic telling me? What are some common themes and patterns that I need to look at, I need to recognize and be more mindful? How does all this affect my behavior? How does it affect my feelings? What does all this say about me? Where did this opinion really come from? Is this opinion based on a fact, or is it purely my mind's imagination or fiction? Where did I first learn to think this way? I'm going to challenge you, and please press the pause button. Think of these pertinent questions, and believe me, it can change your life. Next, acknowledge your inner critic. We are often advised to stop thinking this way or stop saying that to ourselves, but instead of trying to mute your inner critic, remember its main objective is to protect you, and there is a good chance that it will escalate its efforts if you dismiss its warnings. Rather, acknowledge the voice and try to identify what your inner critic is trying to protect you from. As you partake within this conversation with your inner critic, you will come to the realization that your inner critic is either completely misguided in their opinion, or they might actually be somewhat justified in the criticism or judgment of you, from which you can learn to be your better self. Instead of saying, why me, or why does it always happen to me? Tell yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I be my better self? What does this come to teach me? Give thanks and appreciation for your inner critic's protection and concern. It has shared its opinion with you, but it's now time for you to consciously interpret that thought process and put all your attention towards finding a solution that will help you move forward in a healthy and a better way. Give permission to your inner critic to give its opinion, but that is exactly what it is. It's just an opinion. What I need you to do is to practice more self-compassion. You can respond to your inner critic by writing down a more realistic and compassionate evaluation of yourself. Write these responses in the first person as I statements. Write these responses in the first person by saying, in response to a thought like, "You're such an idiot," you could write, "I may struggle at times, but I'm smart, I'm confident, and I'm competent in many ways." This exercise isn't meant to build you up or boost your ego, but to show a kinder, more honest attitude, compassionate attitude towards yourself, because your compassion is incomplete till the time it includes you. Last, Do not act on the directives of your inner critic. Take actions that represent your own point of view, who you want to be, and what your aim is to achieve your goals. Your critical inner voice may get louder, telling you to stay in line or not to take chances. However, by identifying, separating from, and acting against these destructive thought processes, you will grow stronger, wiser, while your inner critic grows to accept that you may not need his protection in the situation any longer. You will be more in charge of your inner dialogue because you have the power to catch, check, and challenge that inner dialogue that is not helping you. And now you have the tools to do it. I hope this video was helpful to you. We are eternally grateful for all the love, support, and encouragement that you shower on us. And this is what keeps us motivated to curate the kind of videos that we do, because we believe together we can learn, together we can grow, and together we can build a better tomorrow. Keep smiling, keep shining, keep inspiring.